What's going on, boxing fans? It's Jordan Williams with The Distance. I'm here with another mailbag question from West 9141. This mailbag question is: who do I think is the biggest waste of talent in boxing? My personal opinion, there's a lot of people in boxing that have been a waste of talent throughout the years. Some I can't think of at the top of my head, but one I can think of at the top of my head is, I'd say Tony Ayala is one, because I believe he was either a light middleweight or a welterweight, and he had went to prison right before he was kind of at that when he started to get to the top level of opposition, and was getting ready to contend. Either he held a major title or he was about to contend for a major title, one or the other. But he had went to prison, and then he got out, and then he turned around and he went back to prison. He's one person I think was a kind of a waste of talent. Another one I could think of is Johnny Tapia. He lost years of his career. Very talented boxer. I'm surprised I hadn't talked about him yet. But Johnny Tapia was very talented. He missed a few years of his career because he got in trouble with the law. And David Tua, I think, is another person that you could consider another somewhat of a waste of talent, because I think that David Tua should have been, should kind of kept himself motivated and should be a champion by now. So I think David Tua is another person that you could put on that list, because he hasn't won a major championship yet, and he's still trying to rebuild his career right now, and he's ranked in the heavyweight division. He's ranked, but he's not ranked high. He's not ranked that high. So he's another guy. He didn't really keep himself motivated when after the loss to one of the people I'm about to bring up now, who is Ika Biabuchi. That guy, hands down, has to be one of the biggest waste of talents that I could think of right now, because you have a man that's getting ready to contend for a major championship. Many people are considering him to be the next big heavyweight champion. Many people are looking at him to be the future of the heavyweight division. A lot of people were looking to Ika Biabuchi because he had defeated David Tua in this big matchup, in this barn burner that was on HBO about 13 years ago. Many people were looking at that matchup and was just like, wow, because David Tua was going around, he was just knocking people out, left and right, winning all kinds of matchups and stuff like that. And this dude that was unheard of, just beat him, beat him unanimous decision. And it was odd. It was odd to me, because I guess it was a guy HBO put there, for David Tua to beat, and David Tua ended up losing. I thought it was a close match, but it is what it is. It happens in boxing. David Tua was was getting ready to fight for a major championship. I'm not sure if he was or not, but David Tua was making headlines over in the heavyweight division. He knocked out another prospect who ended up becoming the champion later on, John Ruiz. David Tua still doesn't have a belt. He was sparring with Evander Holyfield. Getting ready for Evander Holyfield's biggest fight of his career, and this man comes in and he beats him. He beat him, and really, and people are kind of like, well, maybe he's just a one-trick pony. Maybe that was just his only match, or maybe that was just a big upset. And it ended up not being an upset, because he later defeated Chris Bird, and I think the fight with Chris Bird was his last matchup. So Ika Biabuchi is one of those guys that you really have to wonder. Would he have been a big heavyweight champion? He was kind of skilled. He did kind of possess a threat to to a lot of the fighters in the heavyweight division. He was highly talented. So, and he was pretty smart as well. But he didn't. But that to me, because a lot of people were thinking that man, maybe this man is going to be the future undisputed champion because of that victory over David Tua and Chris Bird. David Tua could possibly be a champion someday, and what's his name? Chris Bird was a champion, and he knocked out Chris Bird. So when I think of waste of talent, one of the people that come to mind is him. I'm not thinking about people who are actual, undisputed world champions. I'm thinking the people that kind of went into that underachievement mode and didn't do anything. And Ike Ibuchi actually went to jail for sexual assault, I believe, and he's not getting out until like 2012. And that pretty much put an end to his boxing career. Sad as it sounds, it happens in boxing. Another fighter, Michael Second to None, is another fighter that went to jail, and he's never going to get out, never going to fight again. So, it's a shame that boxing has people like that that people consider waste of talent, because in every sport, you have that talent that could have been, like NBA. You got Len Bias, who died before his career started, and and just so many other sports, Salvador Sanchez in boxing, Darren Sutherland in boxing, it's just odd, that you have a lot of people that could have been, but you have people that are still alive that, make, stupid, poor decisions, and they end up, in prison, and their career is over. One person I really hope ends up not being a waste of talent is James Kirkland, but my overall thoughts is I think that Ike Ibuchi is probably the biggest waste of talent, because he defeated 2 top heavyweight boxers during his time, and was getting ready to contend for a major championship, and he wasn't able to fight for it because he went to prison. But his last victory will always stand out. I believe the one over Chris Bird. So anyway, that was The Distance. If you guys have a mailbag, be sure to send it to me and I will answer in the video. But anyway, thanks for watching. That was The Distance. Peace.